Today I want to present something that I've been working on for about 3 weeks now, maybe a little bit more than 3 weeks. I was getting a bit frustrated with several 4x games. None of them are exactly to my liking, so I thought I could delve into making my own 4x game. And this is the first result that is playable mostly. Everything is placeholders still, so this is not what is going to look like, especially not this. It's just a graphic from the internet. This is at least from the asset store. What this game, it doesn't have a menu yet, that's why we start right away in the game. So it's a randomly generated galaxy in this case, and I'm starting at the upper right corner with my homeworld here. What is different about this game than to other games is that it is very, very simple. So it's not a 4x game in a traditional sense. It's more like a 4x light game with very simple mechanics. And these simple mechanics also make it simple to code the AI for it. And so also the game flow is very quick. There is no big build-up phase. The game will start to get into action relatively quickly. There also is no diplomacy yet. I intend to implement that later. Combat is very simple right now, and I'm not really... I didn't have a good idea on how to improve it to be more interactive. So it's basically just one fleet meets another, and the stronger one wins, and the amount of ships that the winner loses is calculated based on the ship strength and the amount. So it's not really a complicated math. So what does our homeworld do here? It produces 3 of everything. That homeworlds are the only planets that produce everything. Everything is the 3 resources that I have in this game. This is supplies or minerals or whatever. I don't have a good name for this yet. It's a resource that it is used for building ships, for maintaining planets. Every planet costs 1 supply. Except for the homeworld. The homeworld doesn't cost supply. That's why we can see this +3 -1 is the 3 that the homeworld produces minus the 1 that this ship here takes. Research is produced. Also technologies. We will come to that later, how the technologies work. And one thing that is unique about this game is how the victor is decided. So you don't have to kill everyone. And it's also not something completely arbitrary, or maybe it is even more arbitrary. There is a score, and right now it shows of 0 because this is not updated before the first turn. The amount of score that needs to be reached is based on the amount of stars. It's 5 times the amount of stars, but it doesn't mean that the first one who reaches that has automatically won. As soon as the score goes up, you also need to have more than twice than the second one. So you kind of have to dominate the others before you can win. And that's what I'm trying to do now. So controls are pretty simple. I click a ship. One thing that is also different, I can select 2 objects at the same time, like the unexplored systems and my ship. I have no way of deselecting it other than it getting destroyed or selecting another one, but it doesn't matter. So if things overlap, I simply selected both, and for the system I get a menu. Here I can start producing it. This is the 4th resource that is not visible here. Only production planets like homeworlds or dedicated planets, but I will come to this later, have the capability to produce. And if I do produce, I see here I would go into the negative, so that wouldn't work. Production only works when I'm not in a negative, so I'll stop producing. and there's only one thing that you can produce, and this is these ships here. But currently I don't want to produce because I first need to secure more resources. For that I sent my ship here. As you can see, there's a small little line that shows me where this goes. This dark color here for the planets, it's a placeholder, and it just symbolizes that they are not explored yet. I didn't have stars, so this will later be replaced by something else. I want to draw all the art myself eventually. Oh, and the numbers inside of the other systems is the colonization coast, and this is based on the distance with an offset of 5. So basically, the more distant it is from your home world, the more expensive the colonization will be. Home world or outpost, but I will get to the planet types once my ship reaches this planet. So research, now I can show how it works. As you can see now, this button just popped up. The button is only visible when you have enough research to pick a technology. In this game, it is not you first have to pick the technology and then invest the research. It is the other way around. You first generate the research points and then invest in the technology. And there's, as you can see, there's this -0. So this is also different in this game. You cannot just continue researching no matter what, because your technologies also cost. Oh, this looks weird on this big screen. The buttons I usually played in the Unity preview, and this was much smaller, and the buttons were closer together. So right now I have a description of what the technologies do rather than having names, because it was a bit confusing even for me. Production, this is increases my ship production. I don't want that right now. 10% supply output on a base of 3 is not very much. This would be rounded down to 0. But here this technology gives me a supply output of +3. So this is clearly the best technology I can pick at this moment. But at a later stage of the game, if I had more base production, this one would be better. Or if I had enough supplies, then I would want to increase my ship production. So I have to be careful not to mix up the words. So as you can see, I'm now spending 1 research point per turn to maintain this technology. So I will not generate more research points when I have selected 3 technologies of this coast. So I have to constantly strive for getting more technology as well when I want to progress. So let's see. Okay, this is it's a desert planet, and each kind of planet has different advantage. The home world is type urban, so to tell it apart from the Terran planets, because otherwise it was confusing, because the boni that you can get for these worlds in technologies, there's specific ones for home worlds, so it shouldn't get confused. So these kind of planets, desert, are ideal for producing score. And I think I might actually do this with this planet, because I have gotten a technology that gives me supplies, and this will power my early expansion. So I have a button colonize that only appears on systems that I have explored. So I click on colonize, and here you can see the colonizer has the same graphic placeholder, but it says call, so you can tell it apart. The question is, what do I want to do next with my ship here, with my combat vessel? I can send it further out, or I can explore my nearby planets. So it's already a decision that's not so easy. I think I will send it out further, and I will produce a second ship at my home world. I can afford it, kinda, but I also need to make sure that I get more minerals in the future. So I have it now, so I stop the production again. Maybe I should have something like where you can configure how many you want to produce and it stops automatically, so you otherwise can run into the problem of forgetting it. This one is bigger, so I check it out first. Bigger planets are better generally, so you can already tell how big they are, but this is not intended actually. This is because I cannot run scale with a multiplier. I have to change how this works with the scale. I have to save it in the variable of the planet rather than just looking at the size and then run the scaling in update GUI, because then the planets would become smaller and smaller or bigger and bigger depending on how the scaling works. You shouldn't be able to tell ahead of time before exploring them how big they are. But right now this is still possible, and this is just the first that I'm going to show about my game. So the colonizer reached this planet, and I'm now prompted to select one of 4 specializations. This will immediately turn the planet into a developed planet, but no planet can be as good as homeworlds. They can only be as good as this is allowed here. They only can do one thing. Outpost are planets that can do production. They can do nothing else but production. I mean producing ships, and they also act as senders for colony ships. So if I would pick outpost here, then the cost for the planets here would go down, but I don't want to do this because this planet is very good for a temple. A temple produces score. Maybe I can have something else instead of that. I'm still thinking what a good name for the resource is that is required for victory. Then is mine that produces supplies, and a lab that produces research. Because this planet is so good for a temple, I will go for it. And it has 6 production for this kind of thing. So twice then what the homeworld produces, but only that one thing. And I can research something else. More research per lab, base combat strengths, and more spirituality per temple. So there I call it spirituality. I'm gonna pick this because I can immediately see something. Combat strengths, I haven't met anyone yet, so this is not really helping me. This one will help me directly, and I can try to be the first to reach 200, but as the others will increase their score as well, I guess that 200 will not be enough to win the game. So what you see here, I lost my ship. This means that there was another ship. I guess there should be some kind of notification that there was a combat, instead of combat just making ships disappear when it happens. So the strength of this ship was the same as mine or stronger. This is not good news because we are kinda boxed in, and someone controls this planet or has a ship there. I will produce a new ship to try and scout this planet maybe, or I will send this one there and send the one produced at the homeworld to this planet over here. So this one goes here, this one goes here. So this is also a score producing planet, and I will stop the production here. I will think what I'll do with it once my ship reaches it, because if I spread too thin on research or supplies, this will be bad, because then I cannot research anymore or cannot produce ships anymore, and this would be the worst. At the beginning, just increasing supplies is not so important because you are limited by how much you can explore. So what I'm going to get is a mine. Wait, let's see what the other system was. I cannot move the camera because this is a, I think this is a blue system, so this would be good for research. So I'm getting a mine here. Oh, actually this is a Terran world visit, which is good for mining. It's not too bad, then I'll have 2 mines. And this one is improved by the technology that improves all desert planets. And I'm sending this ship here, I suppose. This one can explore. Okay, I need the technology that increases my desert or barren. I have 2 of these, but this is a bigger improvement. Unfortunately, this means that I'm now no longer producing any research, so I might dedicate this. I can do this here. I can change this planet to a lab, but this comes at a cost. This means that the planet is now changed and it takes 2 turns, and this cost of changing planets will go up the more planets you have. Because I have 2 planets which are not my home world, it takes 2 turns. Had I waited until the colonization, that's why I did it immediately, I would have had to wait 3 turns, and so it becomes less and less useful to do so, to readjust your systems the more you have. Because the idea really is to cut down on micromanagement, and if you could just constantly change what you want to produce, this would be a lot of micromanagement. But at the beginning, I recognize that you might need it, because when you have only one kind of planet and you produce too little of a resource, you can swap back and forth between those things. Which is just what I did. So I will now have a lab, and this one can be a mine, which is a much better system for a mine. Actually, it's not much better because it is smaller, so it's only a little bit better. And in the meantime, we have found this system. It is not guarded by anyone, so I can colonize it. One thing, how detection works, I will explain it right now. I can only detect ships that are flying to a ship in orbit or to a colony of mine. So I know that no one currently is sending a ship to this planet, because otherwise I would see the ship. And I also know no one is sending any ships to me, but I cannot see what is going on over here. Or if I leave this planet, I also couldn't see whether someone sends ships to it. So now a decision that I can make is to keep the ship here, to tell me in advance if someone is coming, because before this is a colony, I cannot see this. But on the other hand, I want to continue exploration, so that's what I'll do. And I will also produce one more ship for now. And now I'm producing research once again, so I can increase my output. 3 spirituality, but this costs 20. And 10% supply output. Yeah, it's better than nothing, I suppose. I should probably have waited for 20 and got the spirituality, because I'm leading in score, but I now no longer just need 252. I need no longer just 200, but 252, because the second one, Noxium, here is the name of the opponent, has 126. So I stop producing and I will send this to my temple. and then I will see where else to send it. Research. Okay, I get 3 research output. I think this is clearly the best deal, so I can keep researching for quite some time without otherwise increasing my research capabilities. So I have scouted the system, but once again I've lost my ship, and I've also lost this other ship, so I now can and should maybe produce ships continuously, because otherwise I cannot get any more planets when I because colonizer will get shot down by any of the combat ships. And the there's also another mechanic. If a colony ship reaches a system that already has a colony, then it depends, and you don't have combat ship, then the 2 factions will just fight out and cancel each other out, so the planet becomes vacant again. But if you have a combat ship in orbit while your colony ship reaches it, you will conquer it, because this is aided by the orbital. The invasion then succeeds, kinda. That's how the game mechanic works. Pretty simple, no complicated ground combat rules for that. Just if you have air support, your ground invasion succeeds. Otherwise, the reason for destroying the colony and just not just capturing it is that, or the defender just winning, is that I think this is the most fair solution, because if 2 players send their colony ship to the same system at the same turn, then either the first one wins and the other one loses, or the second one wins and conquers, so that both would have been unfair. The most fair solution is that no one gets the planet, because obviously not both can have it. So I have 1 mine. I'll prepare Terran or Tundra planet. So this one obviously is the worst, because I don't benefit from that at all. Since I know more Terran planets here, regardless of what I'm going to do with them, this one is the best Terran or Tundra planet. Improving this. So, okay, now do I produce? Yes. It's just taking several turns, because okay, I have the first incoming fleet. This Noxium fleet will reach my temple planet in 9 turns, so I can send this ship to defend, and they will fight, and as long as they are both strength 1, they will just cancel each other out. Also, if one would have the technology 50% more strength, they would still cancel each other out, because it would do enough damage, and the damage is rounded up. So if I do more than half of the damage of the enemy ship, it will also die. But if the amount of ships gets bigger, of course, then the stronger one has a bigger advantage. What would happen if I didn't send a ship to defend this planet is that it would be embargoed. And embargo means nothing of what it usually can do works anymore, so it would just lose its functionality and not produce any score for me anymore. And we can also see that the opponents are catching up, the Noxium and the Divine. The Imperium doesn't have a low score, so they wouldn't prevent me from winning, but these other guys, they are at my heels in that regard. So new research, all outputs on homeworlds. So I only have 1 homeworld, but it would improve all outputs, so the homeworld just gets flat out better. And the value that is shown for the homeworld is the highest one, because the production technologies, they also improve the homeworld output. This is the exception from the mine or whatever on the homeworld is not being improved. Only the production, because otherwise the home worlds would be too good. Sending this here too. So my colonizer will reach this planet pretty soon, and I can just hope that, actually I think, I don't know what the state is, we'll see. Yeah, I got it. I will get a mine. No, I will get an outpost. It's just a small planet, and it is much closer to the other planets here. It will allow me to start producing. I will stop producing here though. Send this one here too. And research spirituality output 10%. Desert or barren, I have 2 of them. This would be good. Yeah, this is the best idea, I think. And it costs only 10. Didn't I already improve that? No, I improved the temples. But now both of those got better by the technology. So I will try to scout the other planets. And I can improve my homeworld again with the amount of plants that I have. I think this is better than the other technologies that I have. But it costs 20, so I will, this one also costs 20, so I will wait for 20 research points. Okay, they have upgraded their ship. It has now a power of 1.5, so it will destroy 2 of my ships if I leave them here. If I leave only 1, I will kill his ship and he will kill my ship. So it is actually a better idea to send out 2 ships. Or in case you haven't seen the slider, it stood at 1. So I can just send a lot of ships into the same direction. I've seen similar functionality in Dominus Galaxia, and it actually didn't require any excessive amount of implementation. I will try to scout this system again. I still haven't seen any enemy planet because I've always been shot down before. Research. I haven't reached the 20 yet. But I want to get the new ship in case they will send something else after they kill my ship, so they don't colonize it or whatever. Now I can get this, and my homeworld is upgraded once again. And this planet is pretty contested. Pink is sending a fleet. Blue is trying to colonize it. And yellow too. And yellow also has sent a spearhead. I think I will just move my ship away and they can fight each other over it. There's no point in me losing my ship over this. So I will go here. And I can explore this one as well. And I will reinforce this planet after it has lost its defender and stop the production here. And the new ship is on its way. I will still defend with 1 ship here because I think that is a good idea. I lost my ship over here without scouting it, and maybe the same thing will happen here. Research. I think it is time to improve my ships now that I have had some contact with the opponents. Or do I want to... No, I want to improve my output. There is no imminent combat where it would make a difference. I could still kill this one with a strength of 1. spirituality output, maybe also, no, this one is still better. So I'll wait for the 20. I've lost another fleet. I guess I can try to look at this planet again with 2 ships. Yeah, we now know that it is a yellow temple. Blue was maybe got it first, or it was shut down, and we found a colonizable planet. This is Tundra. It's the wrong graphic because Tundra looked too similar to something else what I had before, so I wanted to be easier to tell, so maybe I should call it jungle. I'm not sure if I should implement something where you first have to research a technology to be able to colonize planets. So currently this is not the case. I would not need more than 3 types, but it's looking a bit more look better if there's more types. So once again, increase the output of this. So if I increase research a little bit every time, it also means that I will not run at my research capacity. I'm currently, so each level also increases the maintenance cost of the technology, but it also increases the values that you get. So it's no different from the level before. I cannot produce that many more ships. But I try to also get this system under my control. And I can improve my ships again. No, I haven't improved my ships yet. But this time I'm going to have a few combats. So homeworld improvement, I could do this again, but it would take me to get to 30 research, and the ship improvement isn't that bad. So as you can see, the power goes up for all the ships. And I'm now embargoing 2 planets. They sent a colony ship to my system here, and this day 2. So I will destroy this with my embargo, and I will also invade this system. And this one, they send a defender to it. This will destroy my ship, but if I send reinforcements, and I can invade that one too, and I have to stop producing because otherwise I would go into the negative. The colony ships, they also cost 1 supply per turn, so you can't just have them for free or send an unlimited amount of them. So is there anything important happening? I can already start reproducing this one ship. I will stop doing so once it is done. So the yellow ones, they sent 3 strength fleet over to here. I can pick research, production on outpost and homeworld. I think my economy isn't strong enough yet to justify this kind of technology. So supplies output +3 would be great, but requires more research points. This is this planet. I will get a mine here because I'm needing this, and it's also the best specialization for this planet. And I destroyed a defender and kept half of my ships, so I will also colonize this planet. And now I'm really at the limit of what I can afford ship-wise, but once I stop producing, this costs 5 minerals per turn from the system, and I'll have them in my bank now. So my blockading or embargoing ship was destroyed over here. So now the way is free for my colonizer, but it is also spearheaded with this other ship. It's actually, right now, there is the order in which you send the ships is important, because the ship that I send first will be treated first, because this is a list internally. So it will first fight here. If I send the colony ship first and then the other ship, then the defender would first have destroyed the colony ship, and then my other ship would have fought it and also would be destroyed, but both will be destroyed in this case. Maybe this should be changed so that the colony ships always get prioritized last in the treatment, so that fights between other ships can happen first, regardless of sending order. I think I can start producing again here. And now I have enough research for this. The techs always change the selection of technologies that you can get. It always changes at the moment when you select one. As long as you don't select any of the technologies, you can just keep whatever you were producing before. Whatever was available as selection before, I mean. I think I will send a fleet with 3 strengths to this one, because the 1.5 strengths, they hadn't been enough. So currently very little incoming in terms of enemies, so I can operate without much concern. So will I also turn this into a mine? Yes, I just want to benefit from, but I really need more research colonies. I feel I'm running short on research, so I hope to find an ice world or an ocean world, because they are better at research. So here we have an incoming fleet which will destroy my defender, but it will also be destroyed. So but then this fleet is incoming, so I will have to send at least 3 power to this planet. I can do this once I destroy this colonizer. I send both of these, and now I can do this. Little misclick here. Now I have a lot of production. I think I can already start producing at my homeworld again. And no one has tried to send ships over here in the last time, so I might want to... I will wait for 3 strengths before I will try to scout this again. Okay, now something's happened. Yellow sends a fleet here. Pink as well. And also here. So I need to... this is strength 3, this is strength 2. I sent both of them here first, and maybe I should send this one over here. So new research. I think I'm going to improve my research lab. Oh, but this one would actually be much more beneficial overall, because I have a lot of these planets. But then my research would be even slower. Right now this would increase my research by 50%. Yeah, I think my priority should be on research. But how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 planets that all would benefit from this. Nah, I think this is more valuable. No, I will get the research. I really don't want to run into the issue that I cannot research anymore. Okay, a new fleet is being sent to this temple. I will reinforce it. And I really want this lab. But I would lose this defender because blue sent a ship over there. Also, I'm no longer leading in score. This position is now taken by yellow. Yeah, my ship was killed. And unfortunately, there is also this ship sent here. So there will be some neutralization, and then pink needs to be dealt with. So I sent this one here too. So what about here? This is okay. Everything is fine. So what can I research? Production on outposts and homeworlds. +1 supply per mine. This would be pretty effective, efficient. But currently I think I could actually benefit from the... Oh, or I could wait for 3 research output. I think I will do this. Right now research is a bit of the limiting factor. So I think I can send this fleet because there will be enough other ships. And they send something to this lab. I can deal with it or immediately. I have... Oh, there's still something incoming. Yeah, this is the 3 strength fleet. And this one is dealt with. This one isn't dealt with. I need to defend this system as well. So now every attack is defended against, I think. This one, yeah, this will take some time. Okay, everything is dealt with. There's a new fleet, 3. Did I not notice before? 2 ships. I think they might have increased in power. No. Where are they going? 1 to this lab. Okay, this is Would I kill both of them? No, I would only kill one. So I need to send more reinforcements over here. Now this mine is embargoed, so it's not producing anything. And I can get my +3 research output. And have this one embargo too. As I calculated, I killed one of the attackers. And they are trying to snatch the system from me. I think my ship would destroy both of them. Yes, it would. But if they get a technology that improves their ships, I would lose. And they would be able to conquer the planet. So it's a bit difficult and cluttery with the big icons. They are covering up the lines, so I need to change something about this. And my homeworld, I sent them down here directly. And I guess I will stop producing at my homeworld. This is also the big advantage of being able to select several things at once. A ship each and a planet, so I don't have to try to find an edge of the planet that I can click. So where is this one going? It's going here. Since the ships will just neutralize, I need something else that will stop the colonizer from then destroying my system. Spirituality output +10%. S3 supplies output. No one, I think, spirituality. I cannot really afford this. I'm far away from winning. Someone else is also at least going somewhat for spirituality. I will save up for this. It's not as efficient anymore. Spirituality per temple. This one might actually be the best. Or no, this one is actually quite good. It gives me 3 spirituality per turn. I should be able to destroy this. They are sending to my outpost. This is easy to deal with. It just needs to keep producing. Yeah, now I killed something here. And I can send a colonizer, or invader in this case. And I will lose this ship before it reaches, but I will still... No, I will not get it. Damn, I think this might be too late. What I was speaking out before, I first sent the colonizer and then the other ships. And this is actually not the best idea. I still could send something from here. I will then just invade again in this case. So next turn this one gets resolved. And I'm having an embargo here. I didn't see that. Yeah, I need to break this. I have no fleet to this system. I need one pretty soon. I lost more ships in the defense of here. I still have time for this to produce the ship. and I need another one for this. I kind of want to go to 2 strengths, but I think 2 strengths is also not good enough for 1 versus 1 against the 1 strength ship to not lose the ship. I think it would have to be at least 2.5 strengths. What did I want to research? Terran or Tundra? Yes, this is research per lab. How many research labs do I have? 2. I actually want to have this. I'm not in dire need for more production capability. And I somehow have lost this planet. I didn't pay attention. Or what happened here? I need to do something about it. Start producing on my homeworld again. Saying there's always need for more minerals. Actually, you can just have to balance it correctly, because you can just make more and more ships. So this one is dealt with. This one is embargoed. I need to I already have sent something here, but I really need to take care about this, and I will lose the defender here if I don't send a new one, and I can colonize it again. And yeah, I can still reproduce. Oh, what happened here? I lost the planet. So maybe it is not as I thought. My homeworld is producing stuff again. Should I send it right over here? I do it. And should I send a colonizer? No, the colonizer will come from here, so it will be there sooner. 1 supply per mine. I don't have that yet. That is, I want this. Unfortunately, this mine is embargoed. They're sending more here. I can easily defend this. So this one is not under attack, and we have a relatively strong stack here. I will send it over here to help deal with whatever is coming this way. And these 2 planets are now under attack. I still 5 more turns for this one to arrive. As you have noticed until now, there's also no speed increase, and I think I also don't want this, because the whole strategicness of the game, or a lot of the strategicness, comes from thinking about what will be where and when. Because if the fleets could just travel very quickly around the map, you wouldn't have to pre-plan quite so much. I should probably always add the ETA to whatever ships there is, so you don't have to first click them to see it, and can handle it easier. But maybe later. So homeworld. I could increase my ship strength again And I think I will use this opportunity. Now I should have the strongest ships. Yeah, there's one. They're still at 1 power pink, and I'm twice as strong. So we found an embargo. No, a mine. I mean, I want to have it. And what is going on here? Why is there no fleet? That's bad. This means I cannot prevent this mine from being lost. This lab also needs a ship. Why did I send everything away? I need to provide some more defenses here. And I'll need more ships down here. I want to see if the 1 strength ship can kill the 2 strength ship. I think it can, because rounding 0.5 would mean it is also lost. Now they have this mine. The temple is under attack. This one is under attack. This one is also under attack, or under defense, you could say. I can see this because of the ship that I have there. 3 more turns. This is enough for me to get another ship. This will be too late anyways. I cannot redirect ships that are already flying somewhere else. Supply output. Yeah, this would be highly beneficial, I think. Okay, we will get a lab here. And the 6 ship fleet, 6 power fleet will defend it. That's good. I'm having an embargo going on here. This will be cleared by this fleet. Well, as you can see, this game can take quite some time to play, even though you don't have to do much micromanagement with the planets, but there's a lot of strategic planning of what to do with your fleets, and if you don't want to mess it up too badly, you have to think quite a bit about it. But this, to me, is the most interesting part about a 4x game, to strategize properly based on the information that you have. And the information that we have is that we are second in score, so we are doing pretty good, but score is of course not based on economic strength, but on this resource that doesn't do anything. But if you don't get it, then someone else just wins. So, and you also need it to win eventually. So your strategy can be to get a lot of score or not. And I think I'm gonna cut out here, and you have a good idea of what this game is like and what direction it is going. Right now with the always war, everyone against everyone. I think in another scenario, like those two would probably work together to stop Noxium or me or whoever is strongest in score. because this would be more beneficial than just fighting everyone or fighting each other. So with diplomacy that would be the case. Anyways, I'm gonna stop this here now, and maybe I will continue. Problem is I cannot save this game because I don't have any functionality like that yet, so most likely not, but I can tell you in the comments how it went in case I even finish it. Maybe I will. I just don't want the video to get too long, and I can probably record the rest right away. But this should only be a showcase of the game, and I think for that I have done enough.